It's a valid criticism. I think it's a valid criticism. And I think we debated internally quite a bit about that very specific issue and that very specific question, especially in regards to grade schools of like, we could try and support someone more entrepreneurial, someone in the startup space and things like that. And what's actually happened is there's a bunch of smaller like websites that we've helped to invest in and organizations we've helped to invest in, mostly on a kind of state by state basis when education savings accounts and tax credits and things like that go live to help create better navigation supports for families and a couple of them and things like that. And so we're kind of making multiple bets, is what I would say. Grade schools is a big bet because they have a lot of reach and there's a lot of risk. And we've talked internally about the risks of kind of making those bigger bets and supporting bigger organizations to make transformation changes and things like that. And I think that's why we emphasize a lot about vision alignment. And I think that's why we really try and think hard about do we think that this actually has do we think that the partner really can execute and do the thing we do? And with grade schools, we do. It doesn't mean that there aren't other partners to work with, and it doesn't mean that there aren't other people doing great work. And that's why I would say, I have my approach with everything is very much we want to talk. I want to hear it. Challenge, give us feedback, tell us, what are things that we're missing or what are the opportunities that we're missing and things like that, because that's how we get better. And that's how we do it. And like I said, it's about trafficking knowledge. And there have been so many partnerships that I've engaged in where we said, hey, it's not a good time, or we're not ready for this project, or you're not honestly ready for our funding because we need you to be at a certain bar or things like that.
Mhm.
And then a year later, we're like, here we are. Let's
Yeah.
have the conversation again. So I
For sure. That's such
try
a
and say, there's very few situations where I'm like, no.
right.
Most of the times it's not right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there are things that we say no to, plenty of things I say no to.
Sure.
But especially if we feel a real vision alignment, we try and think strategically about what are other ways we can be supportive. When is the time when it would make sense, and giving that partner kind of a sense of what needs to happen in order for that to become more of a realistic likelihood and opportunity. But it's hard. I mean, I don't like saying no to people. I wish that I had all the funding in the world.
That's your job.
I wish that I could fund all the cool people that I go see. I wish that I could, make it rain.